I've always said Sonic has a big mouth, but that's ridiculous. Why am I doing this again? Sonic in Your Face starts with Sonic trying to decapitate the heir to the throne of Acorn. Last time we saw the FF, Sally had just watched her mentor die in front of her, so it's understandable that she's a bit distracted. Oh, dear Julela, how I miss thee. I remember all the good times we had. Rosie interrupts to speak with her about Julela's estate, which Sally looks at exactly one piece of to find a vest, a photo of her father, and a mysterious map. And hey, remember that magic ball from issue 17? Oh geez, it's really being a magic ball now.
Hello, Sally. My name is Nicole.
This is Nicole. While not directly stated off the bat, Nicole is a sentient artificial intelligence put inside this gray Game Boy SP. After a quick introduction to the rest of the Freedom Fighters, Sally decides to befriend Nicole and takes her along on a personal quest to the Forbidden Zone. She finally puts her vest on too. But not, of course, before the rest of the FF decide they want to get in on the action. They parachute into enemy territory, then make their way into the Forbidden Zone, where they face terrors such as a giant purple Cyclops robot, a fire-breathing griffin, and a Polysaurus Rex. Tails pulls a sword from a stone while Sonic fights the griffin, which seems like the starting seed of a plotline but turns out to be not important, like at all, despite a bunch of ongoing plots later on that totally could have tied into it. Sonic is 100% carrying the team on this quest, by the way, exception being Sally pulling out the Brainiac stops for the Polysaurus Rex's Tweedledee Tweedledum shtick. At quest's end, the FF find a small golden chest with a scroll. I don't get it! With a note inside. Cut to 25 years in the future. Ow! God, I think I just got whiplash.
By having faith in myself, the war against Robotnik was won, as was the heart of my beloved hedgehog.
Oh god, clones! This is the start of an ongoing storyline in Archie Sonic, usually referred to as Mobius X years later, or Light Mobius. At this point, Light Mobius is intended to be the future for our little band of heroes. Later on down the line, the story goes on, and it really starts to seem more like a possible future, one of many. This is apparently where Nicole comes from. Then she was sent back into the past to be with present Sally by future Sally. The note Julia apparently left for Sally all those years ago was, "To thine own self be true." A Shakespeare quote? Not gonna lie, if I were Sally, I'd be pretty pissed. Something I really like about this first story is it feels like an episode of Sad AM. There's action, adventure, continuing storylines, and the art's pretty good. It looks like an episode of the cartoon. Art Mawhinney, who penciled this story, was a storyboarder for the Sonic cartoon, so it makes sense that he'd be pretty good at drawing Sonic characters. What I don't like is the ending. Yeah, call me a buzzkill, but I'm really not a fan of the Light Mobius stuff. It has a few good points. I used it as an example of emotional moments in my last episode, but I really feel like it just takes pages away from the current story whenever it's touched on, and Penders uses it for his own original characters a lot. There's not much more to talk about in this special. The next two stories are short and not terribly important, but I would like to bring up that the Mirror Zone story was the first one penciled by Patrick Spazianti, who would end up sticking around on Archie Sonic for a long time, usually drawing covers, but occasionally writing or penciling stories. Moving back into the main series, we're on issue 19, and if you thought having one or two alternate dimensions made this comic confusing, oh, you are in for such a sweet treat. For once, this entire issue follows just one story, though it's still broken up into parts. It's lucky for me though, because it makes writing the synopsis a bit easier. We get into some real multiverse shit here. If you remember we briefly touched on Evil Sonic before, well, this is Cyborg Sonic. Not evil, but he is wearing a Terminator jacket. The Robotnik from his universe is on his way to this universe to destroy all the universes. So our Sonic gets a bunch of other Sonics from other universes across the cosmic interstate to all be in the Prime universe to take on Robo-Robotnik. But Robo-Robotnik comes back with the help of Anti-Sonic. Anti-Sonic and Prime Sonic tussle, and after he takes care of his unsavory doppelganger, Sonic and the other Sonics take out Robo-Robotnik and then head back to their respective universes. After all, if you can't trust yourself, who can you trust? I don't know, Sonic, maybe you should ask your evil other self you just defeated, huh? God, this issue pisses me right off. We're back to the puns, references, and aimlessness right after we had just gotten some plot going. It just feels disappointing. I blame Penders. Damn you, Penders! Issue 20 story is called That's the Spirit, and hey, that looks familiar.
Blue streak speeds by Sonic the Hedgehog.
And like that, our story comes to an end. Tune in next time where I'll be covering Knuckles the Echidna number 35. I'm just kidding, of course he's fine. just invisible and intangible, and no one can hear him. None of the other freedom fighters seem to realize, though, except Tails.
Come on, Tails, get real. Dear Sonic, I know you're alive, so I left this note. We're on our way to Robotropolis to avenge your death. Your loyal pal, Tails. P.S. If you are dead, then pay no attention to this letter.
Okay, that's kind of funny. Sonic follows after his friends to hopefully prevent them from meeting their utter dooms. Sonic messes with Robotnik a bit, you know, as you do.
I want you to give Mobius back to the freedom fighters. Exercise and get a hairpiece. Now get out of here.
Eventually the invisibility does wear off, though. The end of issue 20 is actually a very well-executed series of pages with almost no dialogue, where we see Sally infiltrating Robotropolis. It really helps to hammer home the idea that Sally is the leader of the freedom fighters, not Sonic. Like, I'm sorry, what is going on here? The angles, the composition, the suspense and timing? Lots of good things going on in these pages. Very nice work. Sally comes across the leader of a different rebel underground, another Penders character, Jeffrey St. John. Is he Australian? Is he English? Who knows? I don't think the writers do. He claims he used to be a member of the Royal Secret Service, though Sally doesn't seem to trust him. Is Jeffrey friend or foe? Guess you'll have to find out in the next miniseries, which we'll be covering next time. Hope you guys like Princess Sally, because, you know, her name is literally on the cover.